What up, dudes? Welcome to another tier list, man. This time we're gonna do Red Dead Redemption 2 specifically characters tier list. I haven't played the game myself yet, but I'm very familiar with the story. I've watched it a couple times. I have played the first one, so I know how it ends. I know about pretty much the whole story. So and I know what characters I like. And first and foremost, we're gonna do that because fuck that guy. He's a big old bitch. That's what that guy is. This guy right here, he's a big old asshole, and he deserves to be in that spot. Trust me. And you know what? Just to prove how much I hate Michael, we're gonna put O'Driscoll right above him. Those are the two, well, not the two worst guys in this episode, but they're actually, no, Micah is the worst. O'Driscoll is the third worst, I would say. We're looking for the worst guy. I don't think he's here, actually. I don't think they have him down here. That sucks that he's not here. Well, just so you know who I'm talking about both the Pinkertons. They would be an F as well, because fuck them too. And that's how I feel about them. Anyway, now that we've gotten the rotten apples out of the way, actually, this guy, he's kind of like more a big bad as well. You guys rob him. He's like the rich dude that you guys rob. I think his name is Leviticus Cornwall. We're gonna put him at C. He's, he's kind of like, you see him like I think 3 times in the whole game, and the third time he dies. Oh, spoilers, by the way. And he's kind of like the quote unquote big bad, other than these two and the Pinkertons. And you guys just rob him and shit. He's very crucial for parts of the story though. Strauss, we're gonna put him at D. He's not too, unless you do more like a lot of his missions. He's not like, well, he is a big part of the story actually, because he's the fucking reason Arthur gets sick, because he's a fucking dick. I'm sorry, I feel strongly about these characters. He wants Arthur to go collect a what the fuck, dude? Get the hell out of the way, fucking ad. He wants Arthur to go collect money from this family who's fucking poor, and the husband that he goes to collect from has tuberculosis, and he coughs in Arthur's face, and then that's why Arthur ends up dying. So he's the reason Arthur's dead, basically. So for that reason alone, I want to put him at F2, but Micah deserves to have a bad category all of his own, because I hate him. Speaking of Arthur, is Arthur not in this tier list? He has to be. There's Kieran, there's John, there's Dutch, there's Arthur right there. Arthur, S. He's the best. I think he, in my mind, is one of the best characters in a story ever. Like, my top 3 characters in a story ever. We'll talk about just video games in general. Goes Arthur, Kratos, and then Joel. Joel from The Last of Us. And I know some people are going to be like, oh, he just likes all the mainstream AAA games. No, that's not what I said. I said their character and character development is spot on, I think. I think it's fucking awesome, and I love those characters. So, yeah, he's going to go S. Sean, he's going to go A. I really like Sean. Poor guy. I don't think he gets enough screen time. And I think it's really sad the way he dies. He's one of my favorite characters. Good old John. We'll put John at S, because, I mean, they are the 2 main characters, basically, of the first and the second game. But I like them both. I think John is a little bit, I mean, obviously John's learned a lot from Arthur, and John's learned a lot. as his like life progresses, and he's still got a lot to learn. But sadly, by the time you think it's all hunky dory, I just finished the first Red Dead, by the way. It will be up on my channel soon. Just as soon as you think everything's all hunky dory, Pinkertons, they go back on their promise and they come back and kill John. That's why they would be at in F with Micah, because they're a bunch of assholes. Uncle, I'm gonna put Uncle at B. He's the kind of the quote unquote town drunk of the gang. He's always sleeping. When you ask him to do something, he does it, but he doesn't want to. He's like, everyone calls him the moocher of the group, but you know, he's an old dude, man. I think they should just leave him alone. Sadie's going to S. Sadie's one of my favorite characters too. I know I'm putting all the good characters at S, but I really have like the reason I'm putting them in S mostly is because their character progression and their the way they grow throughout or I guess some of them don't grow, but the way they change throughout the story, I really like it. It makes my heart happy. Dutch, good old Dutch. We put Dutch at S2. I like the way he loses his fucking mind and basically makes the whole gang break up. There's been speculations on what exactly happened to him. Some people think he went crazy after Strauss died, or not Strauss, Hosea died. Some people think he went crazy because he got a brain injury after the bank robbery in, was it Saint Denis? I think it was. But I like the theory that he went crazy after he got a brain injury. So that's the one I'm sticking with. And like, because of that, everything just fucking went downhill after that. And since we did Dutch right now, we're gonna do Hosea. Hosea, he's a solid A. He's right there with Sean to me. He acts as like the reasonable one in his and Dutch's relationship. He's the one that helps Dutch call the shots, basically. So it stands to reason why Dutch also went more crazy when Hosea died. And I thought it was messed up the way Hosea died. You know who killed him? Man, fucking... You know who killed him? Or no, it wasn't. It wasn't this guy. It was the Pinkertons. Again, they're assholes. All right, we're going to go with this lady. She's another quote-unquote big bad. She's going to go in D. I don't really... I mean, her and her family have a whole... like part of the section in Red Dead 2. I thought she was an interesting character. Her and Hosea have kind of a interesting relationship. You got to steal a bunch of like alcohol, or you steal a bunch of alcohol from her, then you have to go sell it back to people. It's pretty interesting. And then in the end, you end up like killing all of her sons and stuff, and because she stole Jack. And Dutch wants to get revenge. The whole gang wants to get revenge. And I think because you burn her house down, I think she ends up going back in and dies, but I'm not quite clear on that one. I think she does. Excuse me. Abigail, she'd go A. She's going to go B. She's a cool character. She's John's wife. I feel bad for her because fucking Dutch in the first game, when he goes more crazy, he says that she was, you know, she got around, you know what I mean? And I feel bad for her because I don't think that's completely true. It may be, but I don't want to go with that because I like Abigail. She's cool. I think she's cool. She's the one that's stuck with John throughout the whole thing, and Arthur. And whenever Arthur has to say bye to her and Tilly here, it's a very heartbreaking moment, and I actually did cry a little bit whenever I saw it. So yeah, and with that, we're gonna go with Tilly. Tilly's an A. So as you can see, I'm putting all the characters that I really like, but they didn't offer a whole lot, well, except Hosea. They didn't offer a whole lot to the story. I'm putting them in A. The most wholesome characters basically are going in an A. S, Arthur's the most wholesome one there. The other ones, John's kind of a hard ass. He doesn't, you know, he has trouble showing love, you know what I mean, till the very end, which is sad. Lenny's going at S, man. I feel fucking horrible the way Lenny died. I am upset still with the way Lenny died, but I understand it had to happen for the story. Well, it didn't have to happen, but yeah, Lenny got done dirty, man, and he's going to S. He's my S. Lenny is. We stand for Lenny, dude. I guess I don't use that term, but Lenny's the GOAT, dude. Anyway, Jack's gonna go A. Again, the most wholesome character here, because he's a fucking kid, dude. Until he grows up, and then again, spoilers. He kills the Pinkerton that killed John, and I just got done with that a couple days ago in my playthrough, and it was so, what is the word, cathartic. I was just so fucking ready to do it, man, because I hated those guys, man. They suck. We're gonna go with the fuck's this guy's name? Oh fuck, what is his name? Bill Williamson. He's gonna go at C. I kind of hate to put him close or next to Cornwall, but he's at C. He's kind of one of the big bads in the first game, and he's also went crazy basically after the gang broke up, and he just does unspeakable things, and you know, fuck him. This is Reverend. He's gonna go A, because he didn't want nothing bad to happen. I'm assuming they had a Reverend with him so that he could forgive the gang's sins whenever they sin, you know what I mean, which they did fucking every day. And he ended up leaving the gang. I think he had Arthur's blessing and he left. And I like him. He has a pretty good character progression too, although you don't see a lot of it. At the beginning of the second game, I believe. Well, not I believe. You see him like real drunk. Not the beginning, but his first mission. You see him all drunk and shit. He's playing poker, and then at the end, the very end, he like gets sober, and then he leaves. It's a heartfelt moment. Chief's going to S. All the Chief wants is peace. And it's real sad because his son ends up dying, and he didn't want that at all. He wanted his son to stop seeking out war, and his son just wouldn't listen. And his son got kind of corrupted by Dutch, and his son ended up dying, and all he wanted was peace. And that whole mission tugs on your heartstrings. This is his son. Excuse me. His son's going to A. Just confused dude who, at this time, their land is being taken by the U.S. Army. And he wants to get their land back, and when the U.S. Army makes the U.S. government makes promises to them, they end up going back on them all the time, and that's like the main reason his son is fucking pissed off, and he dies, you know what I mean, and it's very sad. This guy, I forget his name. We're going to call him Bronco because I feel like that's close. He's going to go F2. She, I think, sold Jack to this guy. He didn't hurt Jack, which is good. But he was just like another big bad that, you know, was very corrupt, and he had a lot of power, and he was just an asshole. This guy, I don't remember who he is. So for that, he's going to go E with O'Driscoll. I don't know. Actually, no. I kind of feel bad. I don't know if he's a bad guy or not. We're going to put him at D. Pearson, he's going to go at C with Bill and... actually, no. He doesn't deserve to be there with Bill and Cornwall. He's gonna go with Abigail, uh, Uncle, Abigail and Uncle, because he didn't want the gang to break up. He just was fucking. He was just living, dude, and he was like the cook for them. He was real heartbroken when the gang broke up, and I think he ended up leaving, and I think you can see him in the first game as well, if you go to a certain spot. Is this Annabelle? Is this her name? I don't remember. She's gonna go at B2. She didn't, really play a part in the gang breaking up. She was just fucking there. I'm not saying that in a bad way. She was just there. She was just kind of doing her thing. And she just, oh yeah, she left with Tilly, I believe. Or no, that was Abigail, I'm sorry. I don't remember what happens to her. I think she just leaves. But yeah, I feel real bad for her. This lady, I forget her name. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on her name, but she's gonna go with A2. She's one of the more wholesome ladies. And I feel bad for the way she dies. She's basically Dutch's, lover, and Dutch kind of like puts her on the back burner the whole game, and then Dutch loses fucking mind, and then she gets upset, and she says that she sold him out to the Pinkertons, but she didn't. She's just upset, and then she ends up getting shot by this lady, who is also confused. And you could guess who sold them out, actually. Who's the real one who sold them out is good old fucking rat right here. And she just died an undeserving death, I feel like. She just loved Dutch, and he just wouldn't give her the time of day, basically. I forget her name, too. But she's the reason this lady's dead. She's gonna go A because at the end she stood with Arthur and Sadie and John. She, pulled the gun on Dutch, I believe, and Micah. And just for pulling the gun on Micah alone is the reason she's at A. But also she stood with the right people in my mind. I think in a lot of people's minds. Trelawney, he's gonna go with B, because he was also kind of just there. There's a mission where you have to save him, but he was a little bit of a con artist, not as much as Strauss, but he kind of just did his own thing a lot of the time. He was part of the gang, but he wasn't like in their camp like all the time. You know what I mean? And I like his character. I also like his stash. Kieran. Poor Kieran, dude. I think he's one of the most confused characters in the game, man. Poor guy, you meet him. He was part of the O'Driscolls. Dutch, Arthur, and Bill threatened to torture him until he gives up information. He ends up being a good guy. He saves Arthur. And then for, going against the O'Driscolls, he ends up getting his head cut off, which is fucked up. And I feel like he died the worst way, actually, And now, Javier's going to go in B. Yeah. So at the end of, and I didn't notice this until a friend and I were talking about James and I. If you watch my other channel with him called Hazy Pixels, you know who he is. I didn't know this until I was talking to him, but at the end, whenever Arthur, John, Dutch, and Micah pull guns on each other, and Bill and all them, he has his gun raised in the air because he doesn't know what side to be on. So he's very confused as well, and he just doesn't want the gang to split up, which is very sad. But at the end of the first game, if you haven't picked this up by now, the first game happens after the second game. You end up capturing him, and you can kill him, or you could just capture him. I ended up capturing him, and this is probably one of the saddest parts in the series. It's top 5 at least, I feel like. whenever you capture him and hand him over to the Pinkertons, he ends up spitting at John. And that, I don't know why, but that really tugged at my heartstrings. I'm like, damn, dog. That's fucking sad as hell. Charles, he's going to S. He's one of the best characters. He's up there with Arthur. He's just fell in with the gang when he was super young. Or, not when he was super young, but he fell in with the gang. He was just, helping him out. And then him and Arthur got really close. And they were like friends. And he's the reason Arthur wanted to help this guy and this guy. And shit just went awry. And he ended up leaving the group. I think he stayed with the chief after his son died. And like helped console him. And I think he just stayed. And then he went off and did his own thing. But he's at S. He's one of the best characters. Fuck, I forget her name too, but she's going at B. I've heard a couple theories on what happened to her. You don't see her leave the gang or anything, but I've heard a theory that she, towards the end of the second game, she got kidnapped, or she got drunk and just fucking fell in a river or something. Either way, you don't really get a clear end to her, but she was kind of like also a town drunk for the gang. But she was kind of like one of the more free spirits. She just wanted to go out and have fun, you know what I mean? So she's at B. Anyway, that is the... Oh, Pinkertons, they go at F. If they were on this list, they would go at F, because fuck them. Anyway, that is the list. So at F, we have this guy, still forget his name, the Rat, and then the Pinkertons. E, we have O'Driscoll. D, we have this mysterious man, Strauss, and this lady. C, we have Cornwall and Bill. B, we have this lady, Trelawney, Javier, this guy, this girl, this lady, Uncle, and Abigail. A, we have Kieran, this lady, Reverend, I think his name is... Fuck, I forget his name. But the chief's son, Hosea, Jack, Kieran, I mean not Kieran, Sean, and Tally? Is that her name? I think that's her name. And then at S we have Charles, Lenny, Chief, Sadie, Dutch, Arthur, and John. So yeah, that is my list. I am pretty biased. This list probably will never change, unless I figure out who this guy is and he ends up being a good guy. But yeah, this is my set list. Let me know what you guys think of this list. Would you change something? What would you change? And yeah, if you enjoy these and want me to make more, if you enjoyed this one, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment, do all that wonderful stuff. I'd appreciate it very, very much. And yeah, be on the lookout for the next video. Hope you guys have a good one. We'll see you in the next one. Stay up. Peace.